Cell structure and functions from grade 8. Firstly, what is a cell? A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. So this is the main definition for what a cell is. A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Now, there are two types of cellular organisms. Mind you, cellular organisms. Cellular organisms are the organisms that are comprised with cells. Number one is unicellular organisms, and number two, multicellular organisms. So from the name itself, uni means one cell. The organism that is made up of one cell, example, is amoeba. Amoeba is made up of one cell, thus it is a unicellular organism. An example for multicellular organism is a human. We or the humans are made up of multiple cells, and thus we are called multicellular organisms. Now, there are two types of cells. Main two types are prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic. So what do you mean by prokaryotic? Prokaryotic organisms have no true nucleus. They have no true nucleus, and they have no membrane-bound organelles, or they do not have any organelles that are inside of a membrane, and they do not have, for example, we have bacteria. Prokaryotic cell, example. Number two is a eukaryotic. Now, if you're confused with how you will remember what a prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell is from the name. Karyotic or karyon means nucleus, and pro means false or no true nucleus. Again, karyon means nucleus and eu means true. That means eukaryotic cells have true nucleus and they have membrane-bound organelles. And an example for a eukaryotic cell is plant and animal cell. So these are the two types of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Let's look at the first subtopic of this chapter, that is cell structure. Okay, so let's draw a cell. I'll draw it in a rectangle. Okay, so the first structure that you'll find in a cell is a border around the cell, and this border is called as the cell membrane. This is called as a cell membrane. It is a thin outer covering and it is selectively permeable. Selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means it only allows certain substances to enter as well as to exit. So that's why the cell membrane is selectively permeable. The next structure that you'll find inside a cell is the cytoplasm. So inner to the cell membrane, you'll find a liquid-like substance inside the cell. This is called as the cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like substance inside the cell and it contains all the organelles. And it is the site of most chemical reactions. You'll be learning that in the higher classes. The next structure is called as a circular structure called as a nucleus. The nucleus. Just like the CPU is the mother or the brain of the computer, in the cell, the nucleus is the brain of the computer, or it is the control center of the cell and it contains DNA. Now, the next subtopic is the cell organelles and its functions. So inside the cell, there will be many small substances and those are called as the cell organelles. So let's see some of the cell organelles. So inside the cell, there can be mitochondria, a ribosome, Golgi apparatus and vacuole. Vacuole, let's start with a vacuole. Okay, So, vacuole. A vacuole is a sac-like structure that stores the food, water, and waste of the cell. So it is basically the storehouse of a cell. And this is how a vacuole will be. In animal cells, the vacuole will be small, and in plant cells, the vacuole will be big. Now, the next structure, let's see, Golgi apparatus. This is how we draw Golgi apparatus, like this, and then like this, Golgi apparatus. Or we also call this as the Golgi complex. So Golgi or Golgi, same thing, apparatus. The Golgi apparatus modifies, packages, and transports materials inside the cell. So Golgi apparatus is like the industry. It makes the materials, or it more modify and then package it as well as transport materials inside the cell. Next, let's look at endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum, or ER, is of two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or SER. This is the spelling of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. They are of two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, or RER. Now, smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of lipids or fats, and rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in protein synthesis or protein transport. Now, the next complex that you'll be finding is a ribosome. Ribosomes, we can draw ribosomes like this. And how do you draw SER and RER? SER will be outside of like this, and the RER will be attached to the nucleus. Okay, so the ribosomes are protein synthesizers, or they make proteins. Now, when you look here, ribosomes and RER both synthesize proteins. What does that mean? On the surface of RER, this is how RER looks like. You can find small substances like this. This is a ribosome. So that's how it got its name. Because of the presence of ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it looks really rough. That's why we named it rough endoplasmic reticulum. And smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not have any ribosomes. And the final cell organelle that we will be finding is, organelle is mitochondria. So what is a mitochondria? This is how we draw mitochondria, like this, and then and then something like this. This is called a mitochondria. So what does mitochondria help in? Mitochondria is called as a powerhouse of the cell. Why a powerhouse? Because it produces ATP. Now ATP is a energy, okay? It is an energy found in the cells. Thus mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Now after watching this video, go ahead and watch my short, that is plant cell versus animal cell, and you'll get a whole concept of this chapter. If this video helped you to understand the chapter cell structure and its functions, please like and subscribe to the video, and thank you for watching.